Welcome to Election Desk on GhanaWeb TV with me, George NDC. We are coming to you from the Accra Sports Stadium where the 10th Annual Delegates Congress of the Opposition National Democratic Congress is being held. We are speaking to the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, about today's Congress, the elections and the prospects of the party going into the 2024 elections. At the back of the elected executives for the party who are going to head the party's national front. A couple of days ago, he made some statement about some Russian mercenaries being on our borders and raising that concern to the US government. You sit on Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee and all that, and you have wide knowledge in these issues. What is your reaction to the president's statement?
The president goofed. It was a faux pas. It has the tendency to really plunge this country into destabilization in just one swoop. When he made those statements before Secretary of State Blinken, what he did was to potentially create tension, create conflict between Ghana and Burkina Faso, and then Ghana and Russia, and even beyond that, the allies of these countries. If you have followed what is happening in the African Francophone zone, you realize that there seems to be a certain reconfiguration. They are not happy with the presence of the French. And remember that, you know, pundits have always said that the French never really left after colonialism. They stayed, and particularly for Francophone countries, that whole arrangement, which mandates that at least 50% of their foreign reserves should be stored in French bank, the French central bank, has created a situation where there is this strong anti-French sentiment. And so, not only in Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea, where there have been coups, and those coups have been linked to the inability of the French to also help them fight violent extremists. And also the feeling by the masses that the French colonial master is still dictating their destiny. So you go all the way to Central African Republic, to Mozambique, and you see this strong, you know, anti-French sentiment. And one will expect that with all the experience of our president, having been former foreign minister, he will be more measured and more nuanced, and he could have had some of these discussions even behind the scenes, you know, where he's sure about even who is in the meeting. And you see, these are matters that really you want to be careful that you cross-check your intelligence and discuss with your neighboring countries to be sure whether what you have been told, what your intelligence officers are telling you is true. Here we are, the Burkinabés are denying that they have signed an agreement with the Wagner Group, and that they have, as the president said, given a mine out to the Wagner Group as compensation. The Burkinabés are denying that. They are so opposed to the claims. They have summoned, as you know, our ambassador in Ouagadougou, and they have recalled their ambassador here. That tells you that clearly relations are now frosty, and if this is not managed well, we could have a conflict, you know, on our heads. So what we have done at the level of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I have called up the chairman of our committee, and I have said that it is important to immediately hear the foreign minister, summon the foreign minister and hear her. So it's likely that on Monday, the foreign minister will appear before the Foreign Affairs Committee in a closed session to really understand what is going on, and to find out what steps are being taken to mitigate the fallout and to de-escalate, to ease tensions. You see, the irony is that this is President Akufo-Addo a few days before, saying that Africa must stop begging, Africa must stop relying on others to solve its problems. What stopped President Akufo-Addo, who is a prominent ECOWAS leader, has been chair of ECOWAS for 2 terms. He just handed over. What stopped him from raising this within the ECOWAS framework, within the Africa Union framework, particularly pursuant to his own doctrine that let's stop begging, let's stop depending on the West for everything. Because really, if you come to think of it, has the president considered the consequences, the ramifications? So you are saying that the Russians are operating at your northern borders, and so you are really inviting the Americans to come so that there should be a conflagration, there should be a full-blown conflict. And what happens to our people in the north? What happens to Ghana? And you know these 2 nuclear powers, sworn enemies. So it's the most reckless, foreign policy conduct of any president that I can think about. So we have summoned the foreign minister, and it's a matter that we'll be pursuing. We hope that there will be urgent steps to de-escalate, and all of us will want to see a certain urgent solution, so that we cherish our peace, we cherish our stability. We must do everything to guard our peace. Look, already so much is not going well for us. Our economy is in shambles. There is massive joblessness. The population housing census is saying that youth unemployment is at an all-time high, 12.3%. Inflation is in excess of 50%. We are drowning in debt, over 100%, of GDP. So the last thing we want is a president engaging in, reckless conduct, a president provoking other nations that, can we stand Russia? Look at the military might of Russia. So these are statements that must not be countenanced, and I hope that we will all be part of the solution in really de-escalating and making sure that matters don't get out of hand.
Whilst we wait on the processes that you engage in to resolve these issues in Parliament, let's talk about your party. You have met here today for the 10th time in the history of your party to elect a leadership. Your aim is to capture power in 2024. From everything that has happened today, what do you make of the future of the NDC?
A very successful Congress, no violence, no disorderliness, no chaos. It's been absolutely amazing. And if you look at the candidates that have emerged, I can imagine how terrified our major opponents are. The MPP must be really terrified. They must be scared to death. Looking at the caliber of candidates who have emerged. Take the pedigree. There's nobody in party organization at this moment in this country who can compare to Asiedu Nketia with 17 years of being general secretary, the longest serving, the most decorated general secretary. So
you are confirming Asiedu Nketia is your next secretary?
Oh, definitely. The provisional results I have seen, Asiedu Nketia is going to be the national chairman, and I congratulate him. Our general secretary, Fifi Kwete, the provisional results I have seen, is also going to be confirmed shortly as the general secretary of our party. Yamin for organizer, and you have Sharia Ite, Azoka, and the others all in the mix. A very, very credible team, a team with depth, with intellectual firepower, a team that has a track record. You see, a lot of the people emerging today, General Secretary, Fifi Kwete, Chairman Asiedu Nketia, remember that they were part of the celebrated 2005 team that returned the NDC to power in the 2008 elections, that epic elections that had about 3 rounds. We ended it in time. So it's a really formidable team. It's a team that has energized the rank and file. And I must say that there's such a wide array of talent in the NDC. Look at the team that did not make it. I mean, it's a team that many other parties will be wishing that is their front bench, that is their first 11. and here we are. They couldn't make it. So if this was a football match, you would say that the quality, the depth of our bench, can change the fortunes of the game, anytime they are brought in. That is why I would say that everybody will be deployed, everybody will be put to good use. Remember that the work is huge, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. And so I'll urge the winners to quickly reach out to their colleagues who didn't make it. It's the NDC that has won, not them, not individuals, and they should close ranks. Let's build rapprochement and let us put the differences aside. I know that the campaign got acrimonious at a point, harsh things were said, but it was in the heat of the moment. They should all put that aside and let us move in to secure victory. Because look, in 2024, we cannot afford to let the Ghanaian people down. The Ghanaian people are looking up to us to rescue this country. As we speak, pensioners, people's life savings, they can't have access to it. They are talking about haircuts. I mean, everything is in shambles. NAPCO workers have not been paid for 9 months, and there's no provision in the budget to take care of those arrears. These are the things that the Ghanaian people are looking up to us, to come salvage this economy. And as former President Mahama said today, we will come to power to make a difference. We will come to power not to continue to give politicians a bad name as the MPP has done, but to restore public confidence and public trust in public office. And that is why this team must close ranks and support our future flag bearer, who I have no doubt to be President John Mahama, so that we can together rescue this country.
So that is the NDC Member of Parliament for North Tongu, Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. He's very confident that on the back of the human resource that have been elected to lead the party's national front going into the 2024 elections, victory is assured for the NDC. For GhanaWeb TV, this is Election Desk. My name is George NDC.